Hello again, I'm Kirk, Editor-in-Chief of Appletell.
And I'm Ed McKell.
And this is our second night of the Macworld 2011 Roundup. Friday has come to an end, and we're here to discuss some of the things that we saw on the show floor and didn't, including a keynote speaker from yesterday. Actually would have been a better time to do this, but let's talk about it.
Okay.
Obviously, Steve Jobs would normally be your keynote speaker. The last year Apple was here, it was Phil Schiller. And the first year of Apple's absence, they brought in David Pogue. Mm-hmm. This year, they brought in nobody.
It was interesting. They had several good sessions by some other people. Probably the biggest one would have been Sinbad, who was also the first one, but they really didn't refer to it as a keynote, and I think that's probably appropriate. It didn't really fit that same role as a keynote, and I think that probably kind of fits the general attitude of this year's show, and that is that it's lower key but still a really, really strong show. It's been a good way for kind of the small and medium-sized companies that are involved in the Mac market to get a lot of really good attention and to be able to show off their products. And I think the lack of a keynote actually kind of reflects the positive values that are coming behind the kind of small and mid-level entries in the Mac market.
Right, and Apple always has embraced their celebrities who use the product. We get that now with like the celebrity podcasts or the celebrity playlists, where they just talk to people about what music they would listen to, and it goes all the way back to the Apple Masters, which I don't think they still do. For those who don't know, Apple Masters was basically celebrities who used the Mac and they would talk about it, and they used that quite often on their website to promote the Apple.
Yeah.
Back then it was just Macintosh. But,
right.
What we did have this year are a lot of great products on the show floor, and we're going to show you one of them now, which is the Navigon Design Kit.
Mm-hmm. Navigon has released their own, what they call the Design Car Kit, and it's essentially a very well thought out piece, designed to be very minimalistic. You just snap your iPhone right in there. This is the iPhone 4 model. They make ones for the 3G and the 3GS, make one for the 3G and 3GS as well. And as you can see, it kind of the rest of it kind of disappears behind the iPhone, really showcasing the design of the iPhone as well, so that you could have your Navigon app up and running. It's a suction cup windshield mount that is a really tight fit, works very well in fitting up there. It also comes with a car charger and an extra long cord as well, and it's the thought is that they would make the cord long enough to be able to go down to the cigarette lighter adapter, wherever that might be, and in some cars it's way down on the floor.
Right, so the cable is actually 5 feet long, they said?
I believe so. Okay. And that extra length even means you could potentially put it up higher. Some people like to have their GPS systems up high on the windshield. It's good
or to the left of the steering wheel down low. I see a lot of people place it there as well.
It's good to keep it kind of at eye level if you can, so that way, but out of the way so it's not blocking your view of the road, but something that you can just glance over to easily. And that was part of their attention to it, is they want to make it a safer sort of thing for people to be able to use.
Okay. And with that, we will now actually cut over to a new segment in our coverage of Macworld Expo. This is Josh Holot on location in the massage chair from Appletell Towers. Josh? Okay, thank you, Josh. Now we're going to move on to the Black Forest of Germany with the Cuckoo Clock from appsandmore.com. That's apps-n-more.com. This is nothing more than a cardboard cutout that houses your iPhone. As you can see, I have it in there. It's wide enough for the iPhone 3 or 3G, and it has inserts so that it adequately supports the smaller iPhone 4. Yes. It's quite easy to put together. It's held on by Velcro, so if you wanted to snap off the Cuckoo Clock, you could put on this digital clock, and the app does include a different clock style to fit within that area. And there's this purse, which is a special edition, it says. I'm not sure if that means it's only available at Macworld Expo or if you can also get it from their site.
Everybody needs a handbag cloud.
They do, and now I have one to take home.
You have been fulfilled.
I have. The app is 99 cents. It's a full-featured alarm clock, so you could set different alarms for different days. It has different sounds, of course, one of which is a cuckoo. And if it were to go off, you would actually see a cuckoo bird appear right there. The one drawback that I can see is that from the bottom, there is no opening, and although you can cut that out, there still would not be enough room for a dock connector, so you would not be able to charge your phone while this is on. But otherwise, it's a lot of fun and a nice bit of nostalgia for those of us who grew up with grandparents who had cuckoo clocks.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun little piece.
Yes. They also have a fun little app called Beer Songs, which is the two developers singing beer songs, and a fine job they do of it. I highly recommend you check that out. They're here at Macworld Expo, so hopefully we'll get them to sing for us a little bit tomorrow and we can put that in the film.
A little taste of Germany here in San Francisco.
And there's no better place to taste Germany. And now we're going to move on to Sell Your Mac. I am actually the fan of SellYourMac.com. I brought my first gen iPhone here this year and took it to them, and they gave me $60 for it.
That's pretty amazing.
I have not used it in 3 years. I'm sure the battery was dead, but for the phone and the dock, they gave me $60. And I bring this up because I think a lot of people don't fully understand how much money you can get for old Apple products, be it Macs, MacBooks, especially MacBooks, iMacs, and even the iPhone. A lot of the old equipment you're not using anymore, you can get quite a bit of money for on trade-ins or just selling it outright to some of these services that offer that.
Yeah, I got a similar quote once on a 3GS, and it was just a few weeks ago, and they wanted, or they were willing to give me $200 for it. So I mean, it's pretty impressive what these old iPhones can go for.
Yeah, certainly keep that in mind when it comes time to upgrade to your new system.
Absolutely, you might be able to get more than what you're going to be paying for your next iPhone.
So that's all we'll talk about today. We will be back tomorrow for our final episode and have some video from the show floor as we're planning to take the camera out with us tomorrow.
Great.
All right, join us then.
We'll see you.